So you have two options when playing Baccarat. You can bet on either the player or the banker. It doesn't mean that I'm the banker and you're the player. It's just a name from one side to the other. The object of the game is to get as close to 9 with your cards without going over. I'm going to demonstrate what that means. I'm going to put a bet on the banker and a bet on the player. The dealer will call no more bets and we'll draw out the cards. In this case, the player has 9, which is the best hand that you can get, and the banker has 6. So if at any point in time the player or the banker has an 8 or a 9, it's called a natural and no more cards will be drawn. So in this case, the player wins natural 9 over 6. We'll take the losing bank bets and we will pay all of the player bets. All bets on the player are paid 1-1. The dealer will gather up the cards and we'll start a new hand. Take your chips back and place another bet. Once again, let's bet on the player and 1 on the banker. We also have a few additional bets here. There is the tie bet. If the total ends up being the same for the player and the banker, it's a tie. And neither the player or the banker lose, nor do they win. Okay, but it pays 8-1 for the tie. You can also bet on whether there will be a pair on the player and a pair on the banker. Most of the first 2 cards for the player are a pair, 2 5s, 2 6s, 2 queens. Or the banker are a pair that would pay 11-1. So let's go ahead and put a couple bets on the tie and the banker and player pair. No more bets. Okay, in this case the player has a 4 and a 6. The object is to go as close to 9 as you can, and when you go over 9, the score resets at 0, and if you have a 2-digit number when you add them up, you'll actually drop off the first digit. So in this case, the player has 10, which in Baccarat is 0, or Baccarat, another name for 0. The banker has 2 queens over here, which is 20, also known as Baccarat, 0. So right now, we have a 0-0 tie. There's more cards to come. The dealer will decide, based on a predetermined list of rules, when they draw a 3rd card for the player or a 3rd card for the banker. The dealer will take care of all of that for you. If you want to see a list of the rules as to when a player or a banker draws a 3rd card, speak to the supervisor and they'll give you a chart to let you know so you can follow along and see when you're supposed to draw the extra card. In this case, because both the player and the banker have Baccarat or 0, they're both going to get an additional card. So let's see what happens. Player increases to 4, and the banker increases to 6. So in this case, the banker wins 6 over 4. We're going to take a losing player bet, and look what else we had here. A pair of queens. So we have a banker pair. Banker won 6 over 4. We're going to go ahead and pay the bank bets. Because the banker has a better chance at winning, a slightly higher edge, all winning bank bets will pay a 5% commission. In this case, $200, we'll pay $10, 5% commission. And of course, our banker pair pays 11-1. $5 pays $55. And we're all set for another hand, and that is how you play Baccarat.